Dorian, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, we see you and hear you. Great. So, you're going to be you're a part of Future Leaders of America,
Yes.
and you have an automated police shield.
Yes, I designed that today, and that is what I'm going to be discussing.
Well, the floor is yours. Please tell us what you've got, what you're doing.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for having me here in the first place. So I greatly appreciate the opportunity for me to share what I am here to talk about. So let me just share my screen real quick. And then I believe you can see my presentation. Is that correct? Okay, so let me begin. So today I'm here to talk to you about my HDS shield, which is currently patent pending actually, which is a huge achievement for me. And then I designed this to protect those who serve. So that is my main goal. So my agenda for today, I'm obviously going to talk about the current police equipment, the invention process I had, the meaning behind the name, the project goals, the product impact in the world, and finally the conclusion, basically what I'm here to change in the world. So yeah, let's get started. So current police equipment, I'm going to be talking about the riot shields and body armor that they provide our troops today. The riot shield is designed to protect our police. There's different shapes available, there's different kinds of riot shields, and there's different goals for each riot shield. The standard riot shield, as you can see in the top left, is non-bulletproof, meaning it's only there strictly for a device to protect police with oncoming threats. However, there is a bulletproof version called the ballistic shield. That is much more heavier. It's about 15 pounds heavier than the riot shield, and it is in less supply for the police, meaning less people actually have the opportunity to use the ballistic shield. And in the bottom right corner, we have the circular riot shield, which is a different enhancement of the top left shield, allowing more mobility with the shield in general. So the problem, the current riot shield is around 15 to 25 pounds, depending on what it is being used for, depending whether it's the riot shield general or the ballistic shield. And it is roughly 36 to 48 inches to protect the person, which is relatively decent, but it could be improved. So the most common variant, as I said before, is the common riot shield, the standard one, and is mainly used to protect mobs. So the main problem I had with that is it is not bulletproof. If things escalate in the situation, it becomes a lot harder for police to actually defend themselves. So my second thing I want to talk to you about is my invention process personally. So the main question that popped into my head one day are that police are here to protect us, but what is exactly protecting them back? So my solution to that was I designed a new riot shield, which is further developed, bulletproof and lightweight, and it will be allowed to be put into the hands of all police officers. So my invention process. At first, I decided the shape. The shape I decided to use was a circle as it allows for more mobility than a rectangle. It also is able to cover people to your surroundings, meaning it won't be able to protect just you, but it can potentially also protect people staying to either sides. It is able to retract into a single straight piece, as you can see with this image here. The design is like multiple blades that fold into a single blade that can be held in the hand. Furthermore, it expands into a full circle, as you can see in the top left. It is 48 inches in diameter and has 4.35 feet for the circumference. This is the police design. I will get into that later. In total, from the straight piece, it takes about 2.85 seconds to fully deploy, which is extremely crucial as things can escalate relatively quickly. So it's important to have that quick reaction time. So the material that I decided to use Kevlar because it is 1/5 the times lighter than steel, meaning it allows for more mobility. Kevlar is also used in the armor plates that police currently have and is also used in the military as for everyone. So there we go. It is also bulletproof, as you can see in the top right corner. It has been tested against some of the strongest firearms, including the AK-47, which is notorious in movies. It is also extremely lightweight, and in total, the shield is less than a normal riot shield, as it is around 12 pounds. So this is what the Kevlar material looks like up close. This is what the armor plates look like before I decided to mold them into the different shape that I used. And then that is the test. So the activation unit, there will be this type of button produced within a new badge. Unfortunately, I was not able to make that badge myself as I'm not much of an artist. I'm more of an inventor. So I just had that idea to hook it up on the sidearm of the police officer for easy deployal. And once again, I thought it was extremely important to have it deploy extremely quick. So behind the name, what does HDS stand for, in fact? So HDS meaning is hydraulic dispersed system. As you can see here, this is pretty much a blueprint of what actually happens. So this part is the piston rod that locks it in place here. And this is what it should look like straight. So basically it's something that you put on the police's arm that goes roughly about shoulder length. and it basically knocks that pin out of place, allowing it to fully disperse, protecting the police officer from incoming threats. So like I said before, the activation unit will be this sort of button placed within a badge. So the project goals, and what are my personal goals for this project? So future developments to be made. My goals for the future are to make it more fire resistant. As we know, or as I've learned as I was researching, Kevlar is extremely fire resistant already. However, there is always opportunities for expansion and growth. So then I also decided to work with different patterns to shields. So I actually designed the police shield in real life. In an ideal world, I would have had it here to show you guys currently. However, as I am an inventor, I'm sure my fellow inventors could also tell you that sometimes things don't always go the way you want. So this morning, I was just testing it like normal. Everything was working fine. However, the pin got knocked out of place, meaning the entire shield would not retract once it was open. So I have to go back and rethink my invention process again. Oh, and another invention I want to have is the riot shield is actually see-through normally. So the one I designed was not see-through, but I want to eventually be able to knock out 4 of the panels to put glass so police officers can see in front of them rather than have to go into defending themselves blind. So then my project INTEP, obviously it allows people or allows police to be able to protect themselves greater. So that is the main cause I wanted to address today. It allows less risk when confronting possible dangerous situations, and it just allows new equipment to be put into policemen. As technology is adapting around us, I feel like police need to adapt as well. And then in conclusion, my shield that I designed was less weight. All shields that were being produced were bulletproof compared to the riot shields, which aren't standardly bulletproof. And it's more compact as it doesn't require storage room as it folds into roughly a 6-inch sheet of Kevlar on your arm. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Oh, very, very interesting. I hate to bring up a sore point, but do you have any idea of what your device will cost compared to what's being used now?
The main issue that is brought with that is riot shields are an average of like $150 for like the cheapest one, but that's not what the police do. That's just like what's commercially available. When doing research, I wasn't able to find like an exact cost for a riot shield because it depends on what they're using. However, roughly the estimate should be about 30% more expensive as Kevlar is a little bit more is a better material to be used, if that makes sense. It allows more opportunities. But I feel like to counter that in a way, in a positive aspect, Kevlar has more use than just the standard riot shield, if that makes sense.
Have you actually gone to police departments and asked them what they thought about this and get some feedback from them?
I mentioned it to a few of my friends' parents because they are policemen. So like I always had them in the back of my head when I was designing this, and they thought it was actually a brilliant idea because like not all policemen are equipped with standard riot shields, if that makes sense. But everyone has the opportunity to be equipped with this new device.
One of the problems that you may run into is the fact that it's something new.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with people's lives, they tend to say, well, I don't want to take a chance. I'm going to let somebody else do this. Have you thought about how you might be able to overcome that?
Well, my main thinking for that is just like Elon Musk, if that makes sense. The people he was inspired by actually did not like the idea of Tesla being created. They did not like the idea of people being able to go into space for commercial reasons. But he kept going. He kept persevering with his idea, and now Tesla is a major company. I think I can do the same. It's just an aspect of time.
Great. We've gotten some questions coming up on YouTube, and one of them is about your actuator. Is it pneumatic or are you using hydraulic?
It's hydraulic. That is currently what I'm going with, but I'm not sure. I have to work out a few of the flaws. As I said, the pin this morning kind of got knocked out when I pushed the button, and that was a major issue. And that obviously has to be fixed as soon as possible. But yeah,
And why hydraulic rather than pneumatic?
I feel like I would have had a faster reaction time. I actually haven't tested pneumatic. I may take that into consideration now that you brought it up. But basically, when I first thought of it, that was the quickest system that popped into my head.
Yes, you might want to do some research. There's obviously research with both of them, and they both work because they're
Yeah.
both being used in the real world. But there are pros and cons to either side. It is something for you to consider, to think about. Okay, very good. So since we're talking about engineering problems, I just wanted to ask you real quickly, what is your next step? What are you planning to do beyond this?
Well, obviously, being a junior in high school, my next step is for me personally. The greatest help that anyone can give me is giving me the opportunity to actually get into a college and get the proper education I need to actually be able to further develop my idea. Because there's a lot more engineering programs that I could go through that sometimes my school does not offer. So that is the greatest help I could have, just like a mentor to get me through it, you know?
I don't think you're going to have any trouble getting into a college. Okay. That's not going to be a problem for you. By the way, one of the things you want to do is every time you do something, you put it down, you sort of create a CV, a resume, and the fact that you presented on gift should be part of that.
Of course.
Sometimes people get nervous. They say, oh, that's bragging, but it's not bragging if it's true. So please add this. We are also going to record this. So this will be up, and this is something you can be showing people that you have contributed and been part of this program. This is very exciting. This is very good. Very good. I do real quickly though, we only have a few more minutes. Do you have any other ideas about something else you might be thinking of and along the same line for protection services? Maybe not for police, but fire. uh, They have problems. There have been tremendous forest fires in California and other states, and I know some people were burned in that. Is there something you might be able to do to protect them?
You know, my main focus for this specific shield was the idea of to protect the police. There's obviously different opportunities to expand into like different categories. For example, the California fires. There's obviously ways that we can try and help the civilians in those situations because like in California, it's a different like type of situation compared to mobs or rioting happening to police. So I'd have to consider that. I have to go into like further brainstorming if that makes
Well,
sense.
you know, nothing wrong. Keep working. Keep working. That's great. Well, thank you very much. This is very exciting. I can't say that I'm looking forward to seeing your product. Okay. I frankly hope I don't see it. I hope you end up with a product, but I wish you the best of luck and the best of success. Okay.
Okay.
And you will have no trouble getting into college.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you for having me.